All right, what is up, you guys? A bit of a late stream today, but it's better than no stream, probably.
Maybe I'll give you the best nut ever.
Okay, so I think I want to do some runs today. Like, I probably won't stream for that long. CT Rosen, thanks for the 4-month resub, dude. Also, JG, thanks for the 2-month resub as well. For people who missed it last stream, we got a 1-hit PB, or we finished up the 1-hit run. The only hit was Rolana. So, it was a decent run, dude. Everything was... There was really no mistakes except for the hit I took, which was just like a... just blatant mistake. So I think we're close. I'm just gonna do a little bit of phase 1 here. And then I should probably do Consort, and I should probably who else should I do? Maybe like the Avatar or something. Nanotub, thanks for the 2-month resub. Also, Rose, thanks for the 8-month Prime sub as well. I just have to simply not mess up on this boss, dude. The last few times I've gotten here, I've gotten hit for some reason. Okay, this is good. Gorphobic, thanks for the 100 bits, dude. Okay, this is looking good. Okay. Let's do Consort really quick. When am I going to bring back Canadian green screen? I don't know, dude. I'm not sure. Remember saying at one point Robin Pagnell... Yeah, he did show up in the stream one day, just randomly. Completely random, just showed up somehow. Yeah, I think I've basically figured out Consort, dude. I maybe need to practice him a bit more, but... Or practice the strat. But we have the option of repositioning him during his Rock Sling attack in phase 2. Marco, thanks for the 7-month resub, dude. These are basically warm-ups, yeah. I haven't played the game in a few days, so... Let's make sure I remember everything. Yeah, so that should fix some issues that I've been having here, I think. I've also decided to not go in after Light of Mikola because that's just not safe, I think. I mean, maybe it is if you're expecting a ranged attack, but I'd rather not. Tortellini, thanks for the brand new Prime sub, dude. So we're in a good position now. If he does the rock sling and then puts us into a bad spot, then we relocate to the middle of the arena, basically. I thought I got hit there because of the little rock I stood on. I'm going to practice it here. That's pretty simple RNG, though. Kind of not what I'm looking for right now, but... maybe jumped a little bit early on that, but it was still fine. We're in a good spot. We're in an okay spot. It's good enough. Ooh, that was a little scary. That was a little scary. This is an insanely, like, this is horrible RNG so far, which is what you want to see when you're doing practice like this. I'm gonna practice repositioning him again, I think. Okay, Enigma, thanks for the 13-month resub. Morcas, thanks for the brand new sub as well. Someone asked if I'm going to do Twitch Rivals. I'm not going to. I said no. Who else did I say? I was saying the Avatar I kind of wanted to do. No, honestly, like, Rivals was a total disaster last time, and I kind of don't want to. I don't want to do it again.
Maybe
so
I'll give you the best nut ever.
No, there wasn't drama last time. It was just horribly run, and it wasn't worth doing. So I learned my lesson, and I'm not doing this time. It was the most fun part about it was definitely playing with like other people that I didn't know, but that's okay. I kind of want to focus on getting this run this week, so if possible. Oh, what happened there? Yeah, yeah, it's basically the exact same format and stuff. Is this? Okay. Was my damage so low? It's definitely at least slightly lower damage than I'm supposed to have here. Oh, yeah, no riposte is probably why. True. There we go. Okay. I should do a Bayle also. Quick Bayle. Pillows, thanks for the 31-month resub, dude. Bayle is still tough, man. Bayle is tough. The one-hit PB is... I got hit to Rolana, actually. I really do not like dodging this move this way, but... I don't really know what else to do. With the Fire Breath, because you need to be close for Fire Breath.
Best nut ever.
Maddie, thanks for the brand new Prime sub as well. If anyone has a better solution to this attack, then let me know it. Because the reason you got to dodge back is for Fire Breath, right? I shamelessly preemptively rolled that. Like on when I did my level 1 plus 0 NG plus 7 kill, I wasn't, but for no hit, I'm just gonna do it. Whoa, this is kind of weird. I wonder, is that follow-up a distance-based follow-up? Like, if you're not close enough, he won't do it? This is kind of what it feels like. Bender, thanks so much for the raid, dude. How was your stream, man? What I'm also gonna do, actually, can do Putrescent at night as well. Going for level 1 after this. I might, or I might do all bosses stranded, or I might do all remembrances no hit as well. Maybe. Not sure yet. Or would all remembrances not be as cool? I don't know. Yeah, the setup. Yeah, the setup's pretty bad. That's the rough part about this run. This run would be so much fun if we just skipped straight into fighting stuff. Then this run would be so much more fun, dude. The bot. Yeah, I didn't turn the bot on. Whoops. How's your stream, Bender, dude? Okay, what I want to get is this. Okay, so I think I want to stand around here. Because I've had some issues with that attack before, where you just kind of get clipped by something, and I didn't really know what. But standing at that distance seems much better. There are other ways to deal with it, but Angus as well. Thanks for the 4-month resub, dude. While we're at it, man. Do you have a Mesmer save? I must. Surely. Yeah, I do. Okay. Might as well do a Mesmer as well.
Maybe I'll give you the best.
The arena does count as water, I believe. Navidi, thanks for the 5-month prime sub, dude. I hate this garbage attack, man. Okay. Let me turn on the bot really quick. Because, yeah, I turned it on, but then I had to restart my stream PC and whatever, so. Dude, what the?
Hey brother, hope you are doing well. Always
What on
appreciate
earth?
your content. God bless.
Jesus, dude.
Is there anything cool or exciting happening now in the near future?
Caleb, collaboration. Thanks for the 8,300 bits, man. That's a shit ton of bits, dude. What the hell? Damn. Thanks so much, dude. Oh, anything cool or exciting happening now? Not really, dude. I guess we're trying to get the no-hit run, and then once I do that, I'll probably do some harder version. Thanks so much, dude. Definitely do not need to do that. Okay, bot should be good. Yeah, thanks so much again, dude.
Maybe I'll give you the best.
Okay, so
nut
distance
ever.
PB is Rolana. We got a one-hit run to Rolana. And, you stranded, well, not stranded fist only. I do think I think I'll probably do stranded, or I'll probably do fist only DLC probably at some point. The way I'd want to do it though is by just continuing the other fist only run. Which honestly, if I were to do fist only now, if I were to restart that run, I would do it differently than what I did before. But
Maybe I'll give you the best. Nut
you know what? I was kind of thinking I wouldn't actually. Oh, I see where that dog is now. I was kind of thinking I won't get the fire tier on this one, so. Or sorry, the oil tier. It's useless. It really, if anything, it's actually worse. It actively hurts us because it kind of makes it harder to see the bosses sometimes. So I think I'm gonna skip the oil tier this time. It just does nothing.
Maybe
And I think what it actually does is because I use it. Usually I use it last to try to get the most effectiveness out of it. I use it last, and then that means my fire buff, my plus 100 fire AR or whatever it is, like 90, is less duration. And then my golden vows in the fights that I use them is also less duration, so. Chris, thanks for the 6-month Prime sub, dude. Also, T-Fade, thanks for the brand new Prime sub. Ben, thanks for the 16-month resub. And Big Red Cooler, thanks for the 5 gifted subs, dude. Make sure to thank Cooler if you got a sub right there. Thanks so much, dude.
Oh my god.
No, it actually is worse, dude. It's actually worse than getting it. Or getting it is worse than not getting it. It doesn't help. So. And then on certain fights, it kind of hurts the visibility of the boss as well. On Bayle, like Bayle completely lights up and it makes him kind of hard to see what he's doing. I'm not going to go in Twitch Rivals. It starts tomorrow, right? I'm not going to be in it. But I feel that NHL officiating, I think it is absolutely embarrassing. I think it's horrible. Gotten worse and worse over the years I've watched hockey, probably. To a point where it's hard to watch sometimes. Thanks, Spectre. See if we can get another distance PB. So yeah, we got hit on Rolana last run. That was the furthest I've made it so far. We haven't done that many attempts yet. We're kind of just getting started. The run was clean, except for the hit I took on her. And it was a completely honest hit.
Give you the best nut ever.
There wasn't anything weird that happened. I just simply messed up. So, Connor, thanks for the 13-month resub, dude. Planning on doing an all bosses no hit Yeah, I'm gonna do all bosses eventually for sure. Well, yeah, I mean, I will for 100%. I don't know what kind of run it'll be though.
I'll give you the best nut ever.
Raken, thanks for the brand new Prime sub, dude. I see Hub's Cinema hit today. I did not. What run is he doing right now? Have we changed the strat for Letta? I don't use spinning gravity for any NPC at this point. I do the rod pot strat plus crouch poke. But I don't know. I mean, is it worth doing an all bosses optimal run right now? Is kind of what I mean by that. Because I'll do all bosses. It's just what do I do? No restrictions or do I do extra restrictions on it? Oh my god. I don't know. Because the main, like I said before I did it, the main reason I did the initial all bosses no hit the way I did it is because it wasn't really meant to be a run where I get good at the boss fights or anything. It was mostly just to learn the areas in the game. And you know, come up with routes through all the areas and stuff, which I did, obviously. But at this point, is it worth doing all that again for an extra, you know, for the extra DLC bosses where the DLC areas are much simpler to know and stuff? Because there's just a lot less content. I don't know. I'd rather do a run where I'm not just cheesing all the bosses, basically. So, to see Kai's runs. I just heard about him playing Bloodborne and all the Bloodborne fans just totally mauling over it. Which I find it's hilarious, dude. Nothing like Souls fans just trying to gatekeep how people play the games, dude. There's just nothing like it. And it's like, I mean, maybe this isn't true, but based on what I've noticed over the years, it is especially Bloodborne, like, fans. It's, you know, like the other Souls games are bad too, but man, for Bloodborne, it's just, they're very passionate. Is the nice way of putting it. He didn't play my game properly, dude. My favorite game, and he didn't play it properly. How could he not fight all the bosses? I'm just fuming, dude. Missed a stone there, but it shouldn't matter. And then, yeah, based on what I heard, it seemed like Kai didn't really like the game that much. I don't know if it's because of, you know, external circumstances or whatever, but I don't fucking blame him at all, dude. The amount that game would have been hyped up for him would have been insane. And, you know, especially if he's not playing the DLC. If you're not into trying to follow what's going on with the lore and you don't really care so much for the atmosphere of the game, you're not gonna like it as much, man. It's just simple. It's a good game, but I think it's maybe not as good as people say it is, really. In my opinion, like, yeah. And it was that way when I first started the game. You know, I hear people talking about how it's, you know, just contender for best game of all time or whatever. And it just, I just didn't have that experience with it, dude. It's a good game, but yeah, and that's true. Yeah, playing it after Elden Ring too. If I do think that could hurt it potentially. It depends though. If you like more linear games, then you'll probably like it more. But I'm not surprised at all that someone would play the game after playing Elden Ring and, and have that kind of reaction to it. Riling up the Bloodborne fans. Well, the game's good. I mean, the game's obviously really good. But it gets overblown sometimes. There's no question about it. And especially if you're not into the, you know, like Lovecraftian atmosphere or whatever, then you're just like, you're probably going to like the other Souls games more, probably. And yeah, when you're used to the quality of life stuff in Elden Ring, there's not much, to be fair, but even, yeah, like the boss runbacks, when you're used to playing Elden Ring and you die to a boss, Stake of Marika, right there. It's so nice. And then when you don't have that and you just got to run through stuff that, like, this just feels totally useless, then... I mean, the boss runbacks in Bloodborne aren't even bad compared to the other Souls games, but it's still very annoying. Yeah, that is 100% a good point. Yeah, having to farm healing and stuff. That's just, I mean, to be fair, that's kind of just Bloodborne, though. Which I don't know, I still have no idea why they decided to go with that, but... And yeah, and then what I also heard is that he was using that Chalice exploit to get a bunch of money, probably to buy the heals and stuff. I don't blame anyone for doing that, really. I mean, you just play the game how you want to, right? So... But yeah, there's no question. Not playing the DLC, at least in terms of the bosses, you're definitely missing out on the best part of the game by far. So it's extremely unsurprising to me. Yeah, the DS1 runbacks. Yeah. Yeah, DS1, DS2 runbacks are... some of them are pretty rough. Yeah, it is a weird time to stream. It's 10:30 right now. I usually wouldn't stream this late, but... I was just like, yeah, I'll just stream. You felt very lost playing Bloodborne, loved the atmosphere and the bosses. I just hated so much of the chalices and farming. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, in my opinion, the way I look at most of the Souls games, apart from probably Elden Ring, is that there's very few differences between all of them when you think about the big picture. And so the amount that the difference between the Dark Souls game that I like the most versus the one that I like the least. So it would basically be Dark Souls 2 and Bloodborne, no, excluding Elden Ring, because I like Elden Ring actually a lot more. But the difference between how much I like DS2 and Bloodborne is not very big. It really just comes down to the performance of Bloodborne and some of the just mechanics in the game. Like, I don't like the vials, and I prefer Dark Souls bosses overall, usually. Except for, like, Maria and Orphan and stuff, but other than that, like... I mean, I like the build variety in Dark Souls 2 more as well. But it's not like a huge difference in how I would rate the games. I don't know what my point is, but... I'm just saying they're all kind of similar, and then the differences between them are pretty small, for the most part. I will say I like all the Souls games, though, much more for no-hit running than Elden Ring. Like, I'd much rather no-hit Bloodborne or Dark Souls 1 or something than this game. Maybe not at this point in time, but just if I had to rate no-hit running in each game, this Elden Ring would be the lowest for easily. I prefer no hit. Like, the other games just set up better for no hit because they're not open world. It's as simple as that. Because when you're running this game, look at what we're doing right now. The longest setup, the longest time before fighting a boss in the other Souls games, like, and we're doing DLC to be fair, but even in the base game, if you're just doing kind of like the optimized route, you're still going to be spending 30-ish minutes getting your character set up. Whereas if you compare that to even the longest Souls game setup, which is probably Dark Souls, either 1 or 2, it's about, what, 6 minutes? or so before you're fighting something. Depends on the route you're doing, but I mean, if you're doing Source Route on DS1, it's maybe 10 minutes, but that's the longest it gets, so it's more fun to do that than do this. But once you actually get into the runs, then it's great. Like, especially this run itself, once we get to Gaius, then it's all good, but Agoraphobic, thanks for the 100 bits, dude. Big bosses with big / bad hitboxes, cap 30 FPS. Yeah, I mean, that definitely retracts from the experience, I would say. Gaius first for his, we get his drill, which is good for a couple skips, and then we also get all the blessing stuff behind him, the fragments. Do I do Black Knight Halberd? My God Run 3 route was with sorcery. Gotta watch that Hob clip. Okay, well, I'll watch it, once we get to this Grace, so I'll check it out. Yeah, I like Sekiro quite a bit. But I prefer the Dark Souls games. I like Dark Souls 1, 2, and 3 more than Sekiro and Bloodborne, probably. But with Sekiro, like, the gameplay is really fun. All the bosses are really good, but it's just the lack of RPG is what I don't like as much about it. And there's also a reason why Elden Ring and Dark Souls 2 are my top 2 ones, is because there's so many build possibilities and all this stuff, so. Yeah, insane first playthrough for sure. It was probably my, aside from Elden Ring, it was my favorite first playthrough of a FromSoft game. Up until Elden Ring came out. Okay, does someone have the clip of this Hob hit? Yeah, I've been playing PoE. Yeah, my characters, I think I'm level 60 in Act like 7 or something. I'm getting there, getting through the campaign slowly.
I've been checking out your YouTube and your Twitch. You need it. I've been checking out your YouTube and your Twitch. You're basically washed. You got relegated from your own league.
Oh, I see. I thought this guy was walking the other way.
I could say that I had a harder time smoking crack on the streets and sucking 20 goddamn dicks a day for the money. But I didn't.
I already know it. Like, obviously, I know what's about to happen.
See you then.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, no.
Bye.
Bye.
Classic, dude. Let's see. Where are we going now? That's a classic. So he's doing all main bosses no hit as well. Wait, no, Bayle. Why is it, how could you not do Bayle, dude? I mean, at least what you should do, and this is what I was going to do, is basically just do all remembrances and then do Bayle last. But imagine how unsatisfying this run would be to get and then die to Bayle or something. And it's like, oh, there's all remembrances, I guess. Like, it is not right. Even though Bayle's kind of he's actually very tough for this run, dude. Probably the second toughest boss, I think, after Consort. He's tough, dude. I'm actually kind of going the wrong way right now. I have been using the Eswap, and I'm a big fan of it. And I think if I ever had to go back to another controller, it would probably probably kind of suck. I can show it in a second as soon as I'm safe. Yeah, I programmed the back buttons as well, and I actually do use them. Even when I was using the Elite controller, I didn't really use the paddles because they weren't as good. Like, these are just kind of normal buttons, whereas the Elite had like the paddles that were kind of big, and I kind of just preferred them out of the controller most of the time. Okay. Look at this bad boy, dude. Elden Ring Eswap right here. But yeah, it's pretty sick. The reason it's called Eswap, you can swap out the you can swap out the configuration. I've been going with the PlayStation. I just swap it because I like to get used to both. I've gotten to a point where I don't even care what layout I'm using. I just like, it doesn't even matter. We get this. Oops. We go. But yeah, I'm like, it's actually a sick controller, dude. I'm a big fan of it. They are sold out as far as I'm aware, yeah. Unfortunately. G controller. But yeah, the extra buttons on the back though, like there's 4 of them, and I have like you can change the, like, so there's the buttons here. You can change different configurations. I'm gonna get killed if I do this here. I'm gonna I'm gonna get hit like hot, but yeah, usually what I have is I have like sprint here. I also have sprint here. Like, I have 2 sprints, and then I have jump, and then I have Y press here. So like, it's just, I mean, you just go like, it's really easy to reprogram it because you press down one of the buttons, and then like just the map button. You press it down, and then you press what button you want to remap, and then you press the button you want to map it to, basically. So quite simple. Yeah, it is cool though, and like being able to swap the layouts as well. Like, at this point, I probably still prefer Xbox layout, but like barely. I've used PlayStation, the like PlayStation layout, the DualSense. I've been playing a bit of PS5 like this weekend, so I was like, yep, I'll just go PlayStation for today. But very easy to swap out. Which is nice. It's really nice being used to both layouts, actually. The next thing they need to do is make it like, it doesn't work with a PlayStation, so that's the next thing they got to do, man. I want to be able to use this with PlayStation. What you could do is get there should be a PS5 adapter that you can get, like some third-party USB adapter or something. But I have one for the PS4 when I run Bloodborne, but since the DualSense is good, like, it's decent, I haven't bothered with PlayStation or the PS5, but maybe I should, dude. Because it should work, I would assume, with the... I don't know for sure. It should work with the Eswap, I think, though. Cook, thanks for the brand new Prime sub, dude. Loft. Played any Zelda games? I've played a tiny bit of Tears of the Kingdom. In terms of older Zelda games, not really. I haven't played many Zelda games at all. Is Elden Ring the greatest game of all time? Probably not, but it's pretty damn good, though.
I lived through the garbage. I might as well dine on the caviar.
Elfman, thanks for the 1,000 bits, dude. Also, James, if I didn't say thanks for the 3-month resub, dude. If you stand in the right spot for Radahn, will you never get frame trap? Basically, as far as I'm aware, there's not really... I'm gonna get super lucky, surely. I don't know if there's really a way to fight him where you never get the attack. Oh, shit. Okay, dude, this is legit right here. This is legit. Look at this. Holy shit, dude. Actually legit run right here.
Maybe.
First try.
I'll give you the best nut ever.
Damn, dude. I gotta pick up the item before I give myself the sword next time. What was I saying? Yeah, there's not really a way to fight him where you never get it, I don't think. But yeah, the way I fight him, you know, staying on his back leg or his right leg, you kind of just, you shouldn't really get it when you're in a bad spot for it, basically. That's the whole point. So you can get it, but you shouldn't get killed by it. Animated Forest, thanks for the brand new Prime sub. Also, Leon, thanks for the brand new Prime sub, dude. Okay, one more thing to get. So everything on Consort seems manageable at this point. Like, I think I've nearly got it figured out. It's kind of just about being consistent at it now, maybe.
Maybe I'll give you the best nut ever.
Frame trapping basically means that you know, be a good throw. You get trapped by rolling. So if you roll, you get hit. If you don't roll, you also get hit. And there's nothing you can really do about it. So in both situations, you're getting hit. So you're trapped. And with Consort, he's got that 1, 2, 3 attack, where if it's mostly the two swords that get you, right? If you roll the sword, if you're in front of him and you roll the first sword, you get hit by the second sword, and obviously if you don't roll the first sword, you get hit by it. So, yeah. Yeah, it's a roll catch, yeah. But if you don't roll, you also get hit. So the way, basically the way that it has to be dealt with is positional. You gotta roll to a spot where you don't get hit, but it's not just, you know, you sit in front of him and then, oh, you roll sideways and you don't get hit. It actually, depending on terrain, that could be the case, but you have to be in the right position and then you kind of roll out of it. And then the follow-up just misses you. So. Right, I should work Karen's Sovereignty. I thought it was just the same as the other one, but just 2 hits, right? How are my resistances after the penalty? You know what? I was wondering what that was. I was like, dude, why is my chaos resist minus 15 or whatever? And I thought I was at 75 and fire and frost, but think it's been fine. I actually have died again. I did die one more time, I think. Because I kind of got burst down and I wasn't really paying much attention. But it's been totally fine so far. The build is very simple, you know? Like it's kind of hard to die. The only way I can die is if I'm just not paying attention, which happens, so. Yeah, it's perfectly fine. But I do need to get some better gear though, better resistance gear. But I didn't know there was a resistance penalty, like until you just said that, and I was like, oh yeah, that makes sense. Because I was just wondering, oh, why are my resistances so much lower than I remember? Makes sense that they do that though, so that you don't just like have to you don't just stop improving your gear or your your build's resistance at because you can get the 75 very early, it seems like. So that's weird. I didn't really hear him shoot the third time there. You want to practice for a challenge run. Want to practice for hitless, but aim for a deathless. Yeah, you can do that. Nothing wrong with that. Let's go on Raphael. What would I rank the DLC out of difficulty, appearance, gameplay? I would say difficulty is, if we're ranking it in Souls terms, let's go on Mad King. The difficulty is probably, I don't know. I feel like it's the hardest thing so far. So I don't know what number that is. I forgot the other categories you said, like appearance and something else maybe. But yeah, like in terms of Souls, I think it's probably a 10 at this point, just because it's the hardest one. I mean, there's obviously room that could be harder, but appearance, I think, is probably like a, it's pretty, like a solid 7. Looks pretty damn cool. Maybe I'm only gonna pick up 2 round rocks. I only need 2 if I don't whiff, so. I think maybe an 8. 7 or 8. What was the last one? Gameplay? What does that mean? Like a 8, I guess. I don't know. Thanks, good. Glutton, thanks for the $10 donation, dude. I appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, maybe it's like an 8 in appearance, I guess, but I think it looks decent. No, it's like I would say 7. I think it looks decent, but it's not the best thing I've ever seen. Spectre, thanks for the 100 bits as well, dude. Finding channel have a lot more, or have a lot more fun with Elden Ring. Nice, dude. You love to see it. I appreciate that. Thanks, dude. Aaron Sovereignty melts boss, especially Hippo. Well, yeah, it does hit hard, but the problem with Sovereignty and then also... what the hell's the other one called, man? Carrion... What's the other one? The problem with both of them, yeah, Grandeur, is that they're so slow. So when you can actually get it off, it can deal a ton of damage and poise damage and stuff, but it's so slow. Okay. Go here. The setup's like 50 minutes or so, 55 minutes. You've been doing a level 1 run, and it's been fun so far, like of the DLC or just of the base game as well. The one hit was from Rolana. I just messed up. I just didn't roll an attack properly. It's insane how many of the DLC enemies have scripted aggros rather than normal where, you know, an enemy goes by sound or sight or something. So many of the enemies, dude. Very annoying. Pre-Inchu, welcome back. At a rank boss at a 10, what would I say? Not on difficulty, just how I like them. Well, I did an all bosses Elden Ring tier list, but it doesn't include the DLC. And then I did also do a DLC one. So it's not out of 10, but that'll give you a good idea, I guess, depending on what boss you're looking for. I'm definitely not going to be streaming for too long tonight, you guys. My sleep schedule is quite normal right now, so I think I woke up at 8 this morning. Ooh, that guy definitely aggroed there. Go here. This week is gonna be normal. Yeah, it should be. It'll be normal. Well, look, today. I guess today is a holiday in Canada, so you know, I was doing stuff, but yeah, this week should be normal, I think. Sub goal for IRL golf stream. I don't know if I'd want to do that. Is the problem. What holiday? I don't even know. I actually don't know, but I just know that people weren't working, so I don't know which one. I'm sure someone here knows. Yeah, National Maple Syrup Day. Of course. Yeah, Honda Civic Holiday. Ooh, that's kind of scary.
Happy Civic Holiday.
Is it obligated for all Canadians to have a gallon of maple syrup? It's funny that you say gallon. Automatically invalidates your question. Elfman, thanks for the 1,000 bits again, dude. Yeah, unfortunately, that invalidates the question because obviously Canadian wouldn't have a gallon of maple syrup, right? Gorphobic, thanks for the 100 bits as well, dude. Is there a Canadian stereotype that annoys me? Not really. I just don't care. Doesn't matter. But ones that are false, I mean, which, yeah, I guess. I personally don't say A all the time. And that's the only one that's false for me. I do have maple syrup pretty often because it's just good, dude. I mean, that's it. But yeah, it definitely doesn't bother me. I don't care. No, bags of milk. I mean, I don't have bags of milk. I don't. I mean, you can get some at the store though. Is it true that Canadians are super nice? I don't have a frame of reference really, so I don't know. I guess so, but that's not. I mean, being nice isn't always a good thing. You know, it's not always a good thing. The regular "How's it going, bud?" from Ontarians. Yeah, that's yeah, that's a thing for sure. There's a study done, and the U.S. is significantly more nice than Canada. You could be right. I don't know. Obviously, not every Canadian is super nice. Like, obviously, that's not true. Maybe I didn't take a good path here, actually. Rice pudding, by the way. If I didn't say thanks for the 6-month resub, thanks so much, dude. Pierre Polyev isn't nice or polite. That's funny. Usually politicians aren't the best place to look for like a normal person. wonder if I landed at the bottom if I'd die from this. It'd be kind of nice to know. Wait, arm wrestle bears? Basically. Basically do. I heard it explain that Canadians are polite as opposed to nice. There's a lot of overlap, but both are, I mean, obviously that's just a generalization. It's not totally true. Let's go here. There are plenty of not nice or not polite people still, right? Like, how's it going, Gloomy? Oh, I kind of forgot what I was doing here, actually. Whoops. Surely not gonna die because of it.
Upraised to you, priest, I must uphold Venmar and Short. But the impale in venge, how could I revenge? Celestial.
Did I read your question? Probably not. Although I don't really know. G-Money, thanks, dude. Do I tag them right now? I honestly don't know. I don't think you can. I think they might just disappear or something. I like hockey, which fits the stereotype. Yeah, hockey is... I mean, I don't know this for certain, but I think it's the most popular sport in Canada. I mean, it's either that or soccer, or it's called soccer here, but one of the two. I would assume it's hockey, though.
Those stripped of the grace of gold shall all meet death in the embrace of Mesmer's flame.
Yeah, I mean, football is big everywhere, so it's decently big here. What I think is the hardest boss to no-hit in Souls? Well, there's a difference between no-hitting a boss versus no-hitting them every time. But I think... I don't know. It depends on a lot of things. I think if you're doing kind of the normal no-hit build for each boss, it's probably... Yeah, probably Soul Ascender or something. Probably not even Millennia, because you can just get so strong in this game. Yeah, Ornstein and Smo for sure. Yeah, Frida... I don't think so, actually. She's pretty tough, but not like the hardest, for sure. Yeah, no hit at low damage is a different story. I think Millennia is gets harder at that point a bit. Maybe not the hardest. I still think Cinder. I think Osiris could be up there. If you're including Sekiro, I guess like Sword Saint Ishin maybe. Although I don't think he's not really too bad. Mangas. Yeah, well, if you're talking the actual low damage, then yeah, I mean, yeah, Gideon, Nox Duo probably, depending on the setup. Yeah, there's definitely some more options, but at low damage, that's where like the garbage bosses start to take over a bit. It just depends on what you have access to. Yeah, Shadows of Yharnam at low damage for sure. Yeah, it's just the garbage bosses. Deacons. Yeah, I mean, if you're doing really low damage, then Deacons for sure. Same with Wolnir even. But those aren't fights that are hard because they're actually just, you know, a good complicated moveset to learn and be consistent at. They're just garbage. So, right, Deacons is just garbage. Wolnir is just garbage with the summons. Shadows are basically just garbage too. Who I think is the most complex moveset? I think it's probably Millennia or Cinder, I would say. Yeah, Godskin Duo is tough too. Although maybe not to the same point as some of the other just total, like, absolute trash that I mentioned. Right, if I'm doing super low damage, no hit, I would probably rather do Godskin than Deacons, I would say. Half-Light, yeah, Half-Light's tough, but I'd still rather do Half-Light over Deacons easily. Like, it's actually consistent is the difference. Jory? Well, Jory you can just backstab. So, like, theoretically, you could just backstab Jory forever. So, as long as you're not using a whip or something, you should be fine. I'm friends with Hob, I would say, yeah. I mean, I've never met him in person, but I would say so. Known him for a while. What if he doesn't feel the same way? I don't know. I guess it doesn't really matter. Yeah, Hob definitely. Yeah, he finished the God Run 3. I think eventually he's going to do it level 1, as far as I'm aware. Yeah, the backstab loop for Jory is probably harder than it looks. It's not just simply, you know, DS1 kind of backstab loop. You gotta know the timing. You gotta have good positioning and stuff. Hob and I are complete opposites. Yeah, that's basically true. That's basically true. How's it going, Darrowell?
Maybe
Okay.
I'll give you the best nut ever.
Last thing. Ryan, thanks for the brand new prop sub, dude. Yeah, this is the Tossman. It gives you extra iframes on rolls, plus gives you backstep iframes, plus some other stuff, but those are the only two things I care about. How long would Fist Only Radahn take? It would definitely be more than an hour. I really have no clue, because the DLC, you would basically... I mean, you'd at least double your damage, right? Assuming you're getting all the fragments. You'd basically be doubling your damage of the fists. And there's some new talismans that would... Or maybe there's not, actually. I don't know. I have no idea how long it would take. Most of the late game bosses on Fist Only took about... Like, the ones with a lot of health took about 5 hours. Would he take 5 hours? Maybe. I think he probably would, yeah. Although I really don't know for sure. I'll probably do it eventually. For example, my Fire Giant was 5.5 hours. My Radahn plus Elden Beast was about 5.5 hours. My Godskin Duo was that amount of time. I think my Horlu was probably... Like, you get a lot of punches on him, so it was about 2.5 maybe, or 3. Oh my god, that was a bad roll. was a horrible roll. Like, for sure, extra iframe talisman saved that. Because that was bad. That's just what happens when you don't fight a boss for a few days. Especially at this point, I'm still not as good as I need to be at all of them. There's still things that are slightly off. How long does it take to learn bosses' moveset for more complex, like Mesmer? Well, I don't know. It took me maybe a couple hours, I guess. Start figuring it out. But when you're learning a boss from scratch, then it takes a lot longer, right? Than seeing, you know, when somebody has it figured out, just figuring out how to dodge it. Like, doing that is a lot simpler. But for example, on a boss like Consort, I'm still changing how I fight him. And so, you know, maybe for some bosses it takes a few weeks if you count all that time in between. Because I'm still changing how I fight him. You know, now I'm dodging the comet in phase 2. I'm dodging, or I'm repositioning him now, which is a big change. I think I found a better dodge on the backstep clone attack. So and that was all like last stream. So
I'll give you the best nut ever.
yeah, and I started learning him pretty soon after the DLC came out, probably about a week after. Paul Van, thanks for the 5-month Prime sub, dude. Fuck, I didn't know, dude. Oh, shit, man. That actually... That's really bad. That's actually a big problem, dude. Okay, so... Like, what I was doing before... Well, what I did here is I usually just preemptively roll when he does that. Because he likes to do the rolling poke. I haven't seen him roll into me before. Oh, bro. So I maybe can't crouch poke him. Or... Oh, shit, dude. I don't know. That's very annoying. Very unfortunate that we have to fight this boss. Like, why did he roll forward? I guess it's just something that's possible. One thing I've noticed as well is I think this boss has AI to where if you roll into him, like here, he probably is going to roll. Okay, no. But I think that's a thing, though. Really too bad the drill strat doesn't work here. But yeah, he like just the problem there was that he rolled into me.
Maybe one of the best nut ever.
Felwinter, thanks for the Burning Prime sub, dude. What do I do? I wish there was something better I could do here. That's some insane fucking tracking on that. No, it has nothing to do with health percentage. Like, it's just... He just rolled, and... I don't know, I think I just gotta react, man, instead of preemptively rolling. I think that's probably it. It's really weird for him to roll into you, though. Like, that's weird. And I am pretty sure there's something that causes him to roll more often when you roll into him initially. Dude, what do I do? This boss is gonna be so annoying on if I do low damage runs. Any other good NPC gear in the DLC? That's not Ancient Meteor Greatsword. I mean, this is good. It should be good enough. I bet you I could do this fight for another 10 hours, and he probably would never roll into me like that again, dude. Like, that's just not a thing that happens, really. If he did a... Dude, if he did a backstep attack there, he would have gotten me. Yes. Well, Smith's Grip Shield's not really an option, I don't think. Just, like, actually upgrading that is not... Are there any good input reads on this boss?
Best not ever.
Like, certain... There's one boss in the DLC that input reads the punches, I think. Man, this sucks. This is the really tough part about doing this run, is that, you know, you get hit to Dragon Man and then you gotta redo everything. Only the NPCs in this game were as dumb as the Dark Souls 3 ones, dude. Dark Souls 3, you go to Hodrick and you just parry the ground, or you just parry and then he will run at you. You can skip this fight by doing a stake skip, but for no hit, we can't do that, obviously. He's got to die. I also think I probably shouldn't go in on this attack, actually. Or this one, but... I just want to see his rolling attack a bit more so I can get used to it. Whoa. That was weird. Come on, roll it. If only there was a non-death skip for this boss. That would be ideal. Okay, that was good. on, roll it. Please roll. Yeah, it's just he rolled into me, dude. Like I said, I don't think that must be extremely rare for him to roll directly into you, right? No, I don't. It wouldn't have had to do with the wall, I don't think. But I don't know for sure. Really just want him to roll. So I think, yeah, the solution is just I need to react instead of preemptively rolling to that. I just, like I said, I hadn't encountered that situation before. Dude, he's just not rolling. Please roll. Oh my god. It's too bad he doesn't have the Leda AI where he just wants to, like, he just actually can't roll out of an attack or out of hit stun. Until, you know, next thing you know, Leda's gonna be doing the same thing. Okay, that was good. That was a little tough. Guy's a god, dude. Come on, dude. Like Claws of Night on him? I have not. Should I try it? Is it good on? It's good on NPCs? Okay, good. Oh. I feel like I probably didn't iframe that. Fuck, dude. It comes out really quick. Let me try those claws, because I've been thinking about those. So they're called Claws of Night. Maybe rolled into because terrain plus ball. Are these things somber? Let's just try him out, just for fun, dude. Why not? Yeah, there's like there's a lot of options for spells and stuff in the DLC that can't be input read. But I don't know. Let's just see what this does. I'm kind of curious. Because this is what one of the weapons I was thinking about for no hit with the bleed and stuff, but and it would actually be viable to get it as well because of the cheese for the NPC. I don't know what you would use to do that. Maybe just some bleed weapon. Yeah, Wrath from Afar is stun locks. And I considered getting that for this fight, but the problem with this boss isn't getting the openings. It's I don't know, it's just consistently looping them, I guess, right? So how would you use this?
Maybe I'll give you the best ever.
I don't know.
Maybe I'll give you the best nut ever.
What I miss here? Paul Van, thanks for the 5-month Prime sub. Feldwinter, thanks for the burning Prime sub. Sick Boy, thanks for the burning Prime sub. Tesseract, thanks for the 4-month resub. And Azalon, thanks for the burning Prime sub as well. Oh boy. Too bad. This damn setup, bro. This is definitely the last time I'm going to be doing this.
Maybe I'll give you the best nut ever.
Potato, thanks for the 14-month Prime sub as well. If I do other stranded runs, then I will not be doing this setup for them. Just, especially, I've kind of maybe spoiled myself a bit. I've done practice where I just start. I have a save file past all the setup sections, and I just go straight to Gaius, and it is so much more fun doing that than this. But I feel like I have to do it once. I have to do it once legit, and then past, once I do it once legit, then we're good. But Frostbite, thanks for the brand new Prime sub, dude. And I really like the idea of this run, and it's cool that it's possible. But just for no hit, it's the same problem with the base game. It just takes so long to get to fighting bosses. Yeah, one hit PB. Yeah, we're pretty close. Deadly Kitten, I appreciate that. Don't care about team hit list, then just do what you want. Well, yeah, this is what I want. I mean, like I said, I want to do it once legit. And then past that, so what I'll probably do, if I do level 1, for example, I will... I don't like... I never liked starting runs with a build set up already. I don't think it's fun. Because I think part of what makes these runs fun to do is creating your build. But I would do that, but I would just speed it up by getting graces. And sure, the run obviously isn't 100% legit doing it that way, because you're skipping by places that you could potentially get hit. But what would I do? I would at least give myself starting graces. So, for example, this grace, and I would give myself the grace in Fort Reprimand. And, I mean, I almost thought about doing that for this run as well, but... And yeah, that would probably speed it up by at least 20 minutes. Just preventing all these running sections. And kind of just warping the graces, get what I need, and then start the run at that point. So yeah, if I do level 1, that's probably what I'll do. And same for, I think, an all bosses stranded no hit run is something I want to do as well. All DLC bosses, and so... So... For that, I'm not sure what I'll do. Marcus, thanks for the bits, dude. And yeah, that's what I don't have a run with that yet in the base game, but that's what I was starting to do for a run like the Master Run. That was the plan, and for the Nightmare Run is exact same thing. I gave myself select graces that would speed up the setup a lot, such as the Third Church of Marika and, you know, the Gate Front grace and the Academy entrance and stuff like that. And basically just warp around at the start. You do your setup, and it saved... On the Nightmare Run, getting to Red Wolf, before I was getting Red Wolf in about 35 minutes or so, maybe 40, and that was with like a less optimized setup too, because I didn't go with Lightning Slash. I went with the Sacred Blade instead to make it faster, but doing with the graces, like just getting to the starting graces, nothing else. I got there in about 8 minutes, so yeah, I mean, it saved 30 minutes of setup at the start, which is just the least fun part. But for this run, I think like I said, I want to do this legit, and then after this, I'll probably give myself graces to start or something, or figure out how I want to do it. Boss stresses me out the most in these runs. Well, honestly, Dragon Man sucks a lot, and I just lost a run to him. But I don't know. I don't really get super stressed out when I do this, so... I guess, yeah, I never like doing runs where I have a build already set up. So I will never do that. So, for example, doing a run where I do the DLC not fresh start, where I just start out with, you know, a build already, it's just not as fun to me. Because there's not... One thing that's maybe my most fun part about doing these runs is routing the run. You know, figuring out the strats and learning the proper route to actually do what I'm trying to do. And doing this not stranded would basically remove all of that. At that point, you're kind of just fighting the bosses, right? Have I considered a mod that adds flasks, pouches, and tiers to the DLC areas? That would be interesting, I guess, but what I like about this run is that it's actually possible, right? Doing a stranded playthrough of the DLC is totally something that's reasonable to do. You can build out your character to a respectable level only in the DLC. And so adding the base game stuff to it, like, I just don't think it's necessary. It's kind of like playing a whole new game here. Yeah, that could be a twist on Stranded, though, to make it... Yeah, because what I do is I started with all the talisman pouches and the memory stones and all that stuff. So yeah, you could alter it a bit. Oh, we have a cheese for Dane. And then for Letta, we can actually crouch poke, and it works better than Dragon Man because Letta doesn't roll, possibly. Like, she just never rolls out, so... I'm doing Stranded even though you have 4 flasks and... Well, you know, at this point, if I do more Stranded runs, which I probably will, I will go with this exact save file. I'm going to give myself all the flasks and all the memory stones and stuff. The first few runs I didn't. But I think you may as well give yourself all the flasks and stuff. Bear Manny, thanks for the brand new sub, dude. Is the end goal Master Run all bosses? Definitely not Nightmare. Master Run all bosses, though, would be... Oh, dude. If I can do that, that would be just... That would be sick. But I don't know. Up the item, please. Oh my god, dude. Yeah, that'd be something else, dude. Why would you? Well, I think it would be cool. I think it'd actually be cool. If there's not a long setup on that run, then it would be cool. But yeah, I mean, Master Run, the restrictions on it, maybe, you know, maybe you just do NG, base NG cycle instead, or I don't know. I think base NG cycle might make more sense for a run like that. But yeah, that's true. There would be a lot of Knights Cavalries and stuff. Like a lot of repeat bosses, which isn't ideal. Even honestly, though, even just doing Master Run all main bosses or whatever with the DLC, that'd be pretty good. Like that would be enough for me, probably. And in that case, I'd probably want to do NG plus 7, but that run I almost 100% will do. Right, I'm gonna do Master Run base game, and then I mean there were some things I liked about Nightmare more, just no Black Flame. But I don't know. We'll see. I'll think about it. No, it's on Master Run DS2 now. Nightmare felt more like DS3 Master Run. It did and it didn't, because DS3 Master Run had a lot more different builds that you would use, which I think... I don't think any run you could do in this game would be as fun as that, honestly. Just the build variety on that run was so much fun, dude. You'd go Bandit Knife, you'd go Black Flame, you'd go Great Combustion, you would go, you know, Gales, Greatsword. There were so many different setups, Black Knight Greatsword as well, that I used on that run, and that were actually like optimized for the bosses I was fighting. Whereas doing Night... Why did I get off horse so early? Doing Nightmare in this game, I think the length of boss fights is more similar, but it's not as interesting because you're just going axe the whole time, right? Yeah, I did base game master run, yeah. Or any percent. I haven't done all great runes yet. Yeah, and I don't think... Unfortunately, in this game, there's just not... There's not the same... When you're doing a low damage run like that, there's not really a way to get the same results as the DS3 Master Run, I don't think. Because, yeah, the Master Run, the way I did it, with the size effects, it's not just, you know, one boss you kind of pick. And I don't know. With the amount of health that things have in this game, and like spells are not really an option because I don't allow stat boosting. So there's a few problems, dude. Because if you allow stat boosting, then things kind of go crazy. And then next thing you know, at level 1+0, you're actually cheesing bosses because you have so much damage. But then you take away stat boosting, and then you just can't use, you know, as much stuff, and it kind of just comes down to cycling all the statuses across bosses, right? And especially since their status resistance goes up the more you proc them. That means you gotta cycle them all rather than just use one. Which I honestly think using one was more interesting because every boss has different resistances. So for example, on Radahn, maybe you want to go Poison and Rot or something, and then, you know, somewhere else you want to go Frostbite mostly, which is how DS3 kind of worked. For example, Dragon Slayer armor is, you know, super susceptible to Frost, but can't be procced by anything else. And so against him, you go with that, and then against Deacons, you would go Poison, for example. And so it's just, there wasn't... I guess a rare case of having less options actually making it more interesting because you had to swap the build more constantly.
Maybe I'll give you the best nut ever.
Cobb, thanks for the brand new Prime sub, dude. So yeah, I still really don't know how to recreate the restrictions to get that sort of result of a run. So, and another thing I don't really like doing is being super specific with certain items not being allowed, right? So what you could do is go, you're allowed stat boosting, but you're not allowed Godric's Great Rune, for example, or the Source Seals, but you're allowed everything else. And then it would definitely turn more into the DS3 kind of amount of stat boosting, or DS2 even, or just the older Souls games. Like actually, Dark Souls 1 didn't have any, but you guys know what I mean. It's just you can get so many stats in this game with just items that it goes. You can just go way too far. And then doing a level 1+0 run becomes buffing into using like consumables or sorcery, basically, which just isn't as fun. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, maybe I just shouldn't do a run like that. I think Nightmare's cool, and it's a really hard run, which I'm not 100% sure if I'll do, but yeah, for people who aren't aware of what I'm talking about, at level 1 in this game, you can reach effective level 160. So that basically means the stats that you have, if you actually... The equivalent character without any stat boosting would be at level 160. So there's 159... I think that's the maximum. 159 bonus stats that you can get. And so when you get to that point where you have that amount of levels, and not all of them are being... Oh yeah, I guess now with with DLC items even more, but not every single stat is super effective when you're, getting the maximum level or whatever, but being able to hit like 45 dex, for example, and then using fan daggers is a very good strategy at level 1+0. Or, Night Comet hitting 40 whatever faith or int. It's cool that you can do it, but when it comes to that type of run, it makes it less fun for sure. Maybe allow some stat boosting, ban incant sorcery. But I think it'd be really fun if I could use incants and sorceries to a point where it's not just cheesing bosses with it. When I was writing the level 1+0 bosses no-hit run, just started routing. I probably will never do it because of this problem, but I was in mountaintops and I was still scripting bosses with Howl of Shabriri and Golden Vow, Night Comet. Like, you walk in and you still script a boss. So it's a problem of figuring out what restrictions are correct. And I think Master Run is not bad, but it's kind of... It's just the same on every boss is the problem. It doesn't have the build variety, which is the original reason why I did no upgrade runs in the first place, was to try out different builds and try to fine-tune what I used on each boss to use the best setup for them. Or at least just to use not the Sellsword Twin Blades, basically. I was like, okay, this is cool. So now I can use, Great Combustion on this boss. It's the best. And then this other boss, I use something else, and it was nice. So it's not a problem with the game if that's how I'm making it sound at all. It's just specifically just to what I'm trying to do. Fire Knight Greatsword is honestly just a good weapon for this run. Is the reason why. It's good with the NPCs and does good damage. May not be the best weapon for this run, but considering the amount of stuff that I have to do, such as the NPCs and like it's got thrust damage, which is nice for some certain bosses. I think it'd be tough to find a better weapon than this overall. Like, there's weapons that deal way more damage and stuff, but I don't know. If I were to take in Mesmer Soldier Axe, for example, how would I deal with the NPC fights? Like, especially Leda. Because Dragon Man, you could just kind of fight him. But Leda would be a pain in the ass, dude. You just have to slowly fight her, I guess. I don't know. Oh, does Wild Strikes... Is that actually safe, though? Does it even have it on it? Starfist is definitely good for anything, yeah. Would allowing only Godric's work? I'd rather, if I was gonna ban specific items like that, I'd rather remove the ones that boost multiple stats, probably. So Source Seal and Godric's, you know? Or, I mean, I don't know. There's still, even without Godric's, that's only 5 levels in each stat, so you can still get pretty high stats with Grafted Blade and stuff. But if you don't allow Grafted Blade or Godric's or the Source Heals, then that'd be much more reasonable at that point. But it doesn't feel right to go so specific with that stuff, right? I'd rather keep it more general. I don't know. It's totally a me problem, dude. I haven't actually thought about it that much. But yeah, so in Dark Souls 3, well, first of all, just in all the older Souls games, the amount of levels that you could get artificially was significantly smaller. Dark Souls 3, there were the only things you could do. There were 4 talismans. There was the Scholar's Ring, there was the Knight's Ring, there was the... Okay, well, there's a few more, actually. There's the Milk Ring, there's the Hunter's Ring, and... what's the one I didn't say? I forget what the Faith one is. Oh, look at that, dude. But anyways, you can get 18 dex, and you could get 5 int, like 15 int, 15 strength, and I don't know. You can get 15 of all those stats except for dex. You can get 18, basically. Which is just a lot smaller than what you can get in this game. I think DS2 is probably the perfect amount of extra levels you can get, because you can get, you know, there's a bunch of armor sets that boost your stats, and then, you know, there's also rings as well, but it's not, you know, it's not crazy overboard. It's, I think, like I said, I think it's basically the perfect amount of extra boosts you can get. Yeah, I guess Prisoner's Chain as well. That's true. Where do we go? But what am I saying? But yeah, just relative to Elden Ring, there's a lot less stuff that boost it, but it's just the right amount, I think, for a level 1 run. And I'm not saying this is a problem with the game either. I don't think it's bad to have a lot of different gear that boosts your levels. I think it's actually probably better. But just for specifically doing level 1, I think it makes it less interesting. Which I highly doubt is actually even something they think about, probably. Level 1, no buff / talisman. Well, that's what I'm saying, right? I did the master run, no stat boosting, or true level 1 is what I called it, which is no artificially increasing your levels. But then the problem with the run that I was saying is that the amount of variety on it, if you go watch the master run right now that I did, it was any %, but basically the build for every boss was you would go, at least what I did, was a Chilling Mist on a dagger with Frost Infusion. And then I went... So that was my Frost weapon. And then I went... the Venomous Fang for Deadly Poison with a Poison Infusion, so you get the longer duration. That was my poison option. And then I went with... the Starfist. So I'd put a Rot Grease on the Starfist. So that was my Rot. And I'd also get Bleed out of it. And then I also went with Poison Mothlight, which would basically deal a big chunk of damage at the end of my poison duration. So it was just even more damage from it. And then that was the setup on every boss. Every single boss, which it was cool. Like, it's cool, but it's just not as interesting as having different optimal builds for each boss, is basically what I'm saying. And so then, you know, I was working on the Nightmare run, which is basically that run, but without any status effects on it. It was the exact same, but no status. And so that run basically just became using the Highland Axe on everything. And then, like, you just use it on everything. And it's, you know, you got to get good at the bosses, obviously, but just, it's not that interesting. It'd be really cool if there was a reason to use, you know, certain sorceries on a certain boss, right? I could use the meteorite staff, that'd be cool. But not to a point where I'm getting 45 intelligence or whatever, plus meteorite staff, and using Night Comet to cheese all the bosses, right? With Halv Shabriri and all that stuff. So, there's... how big of a problem is this, I wonder? Fuck, dude. Oh, boy. Surely I don't die because of that, right? Okay. Kind of messed up there. Yeah, true. Black Flame Tornado as well once you get late game. But yeah, I think it's just because so many of the bosses in this game are susceptible to a lot of status effects. And when you're doing low damage like that, with low upgrade, status effects are your main source of damage. And so, you know, it's not like one boss I want to go with the Frost build, and then the next boss I want to go with the Bleed build. It's just you go the same status build every time. And then it's especially more the case because bosses get, you know, when you proc a boss with a status effect, for example, Frost, right? If you proc Frost on a boss, the next time you try to proc Frost, they'll have more resistance to it. So it takes longer. Oh my god, seriously. It takes longer to do it. So basically what that means is you want to cycle a bunch of status effects so that the resistances don't go up as much, rather than just going one the whole time, which I was never a fan of that change in this game compared to the other Souls games like that. Never really liked it, and it definitely makes going with a certain status build or a singular status build not as good. I mean, some people might like it because it's not as maybe brain dead of just going like, oh, I'm going to proc bleed 100 times on you or something. But I just don't like it as much. Why do mosquitoes die from falling is the real question, dude. Yeah, and yeah, I think the Frost in DS3 is really cool with the fire reset. I think in this game, though, I really don't like how they made it. It's just not as good, because if you reset Frostbite, then they just have more resistance to it, right? So you kind of don't want to reset it. I haven't watched any of the Olympics, no. So yeah, it's a cool mechanic to have, but it's not really as useful in this game. Although I do like that they kind of cranked up the extra damage you get from Frostbite in this game, though. I do like that. I honestly, I barely even watch the Winter Olympics. I'll watch the hockey when there's NHLers in it. If there's not any NHLers in it, I don't even care. What do I think they could have improved with PvP? Well, the obvious answer across all the Souls games is basically the netcode, right? And the not good interactions that come from latency. I mean, obviously latency in any PvP game is going to be bad, but the way it works in the Souls games, and especially Elden Ring, you know, getting procced. Well, I mean, you get procced through rolls in other Souls games too, but in this game, like bleed procs staggering you and frost procs staggering you when you're mid-roll is just like that's the main issue that Souls PvP has always had, and it's always the reason I've said it's just not good. Even though I've enjoyed DS3 PvP quite a bit. I've done a lot of it. But they just really have not nailed PvP in any Souls game because of those fundamental problems that just have not been fixed. So, I mean, I don't know if that's the main problem. I think PvP can still be fun regardless of that. But in this game specifically, the things I don't like are, yeah, the lack of covenants, the lack of rewards in PvP, I don't like that the player limit. Like, I think more players, the better in an online situation and in a Souls like invasion setting. I think the more players, the more fun it is. And so the fact that that's reduced is not as good. And then yeah, couple that with this sort of unbalanced PvP in this game, which is just like it would be almost impossible to not have based on how much stuff there is in this game with all the spells and all the cool effects that they added for PvE. But it kind of just makes PvP worse, I think. And so yeah, it just, I don't know. That's why I don't do it in this game, really. They did nerf Thorns. I haven't actually tested it out, though. Wish co-op was better on console. I just wish co-op was better in general, dude. I really think it was a mistake for them to not improve their online stuff. Since, I mean, they've had it the same since the beginning, basically, right? How do they not have an actual good co-op yet? I just don't understand. I think that there's a time and place for the summon sign stuff, but these games are so much fun to play co-op that the fact that they haven't implemented a seamless co-op already, or that they haven't done that 8 years ago is just insane, dude. And it took somebody making a mod to finally do it. And I remember when I started playing the Souls games in 2017, one of the first things I thought about was how much fun it would be to do co-op with somebody else. An actual true co-op where you're playing the game with the other person the entire time. And they don't randomly disconnect, or it's not random, but they don't disconnect every time you kill a boss or, you know, stuff like that. They can't go into certain areas because you're online. It is very fun to do seamless co-op. And it would be really cool if somebody made a mod for that in the previous Souls games. You know, seamless co-op, Dark Souls 3 and Dark Souls 2. I think I remember somebody saying the modder for seamless co-op in Elden Ring wouldn't do that, but I don't know. I hope they do, because it would be just as fun as it is in this game. If not, maybe even more fun, because you're not running around on horse constantly. Gonna be doing DLC co-op with Potesic? If she wants to. I don't think she's played it yet. least last time I heard. So she's probably got to play it first, I would think. They did not add seamless co-op officially. If you're talking about FromSoft or whatever, but they should. The next game, if they make another Souls game or whatever, and it does not have seamless co-op or a proper co-op in it, then I mean, that'd be just so disappointing. It'd be insane. I mean, they should have done that already in this game. Like, it should have been an update or something. And it would have been cool if you could find a session to play in. You know, maybe there's a session browser and you could see people that opened up their worlds to seamless co-op, and you know, you could join them or whatever if they wanted to make it open, or, you know, have a password or something. Probably would have made the invasions a lot more active too for people, or I don't know. From said they support seamless and want to try to add it in future games. I don't know if that's true, but I hope so. I think they will add it because they basically added Wex Dust in this game, which is, it was a Dark Souls 3 mod that allowed you to invade to any region that you had discovered, and then they added it basically copy paste into this game. So I think they will. It's a very similar thing. You know, it's a need that is there. Somebody mods it in, and then they're like, oh yeah, we should probably fix that, and then they do it. But yeah, like I said, I think the summon sign co-op is there's a place for it. I think ideally they would have both. You'd be able to summon sign people to just help you kill bosses, and then they just leave or whatever. But then you should also just be able to play co-op with somebody else. Simple.
Please. No. I am sorry. I repent.
How would I feel about an Elden Ring MMO? I like MMOs, so I mean, obviously wouldn't dislike it if it was good. But yeah, just saying an Elden Ring MMO doesn't really mean too much to me, right? It's more about the mechanics that are in the game and the raids and boss fights and stuff. Just the actual, just being a Souls theme, it wouldn't be enough to sell me on it, really. Yeah, it would just depend how, like, how it works. I'm definitely not on a late night stream schedule. This is kind of just like an extra stream. And I don't think I'll stream for too long, so it's either, you know, maybe I'll stop once the setup is done, or I'll just, you know, go until I'm tired, maybe. Which I kind of already am tired, so we'll see. See how far I get. Co-op on From Software games always seems against the idea of the game. I guess I see what you're saying, but it doesn't mean it's not fun to do. I assume you're saying that, you know, the games are intended to be a challenge that you overcome through different ways, and then, you know, the feeling of beating it properly by yourself usually is what the games are about. Which I think that's kind of true, but it's also maybe kind of not true at the same time. McCarthy, thanks for the 100 bits, by the way, dude.
I'll give you the best not
Also,
ever.
Uprisen, thanks for the 33-month resub, dude. Thought that guy aggro there somehow. No, I think they want you to feel the accomplishment of being able to beat bosses and stuff, but you can also still get that through using everything you have available to you, right?
A brazen to you, presume I must uphold then mar and surely. But for the impaled in venge, how could I revenge? Celestial.
No, I mean, it's not wrong. It just, I mean, the feeling of the accomplishment it won't be as good as doing it, you know, when you've been trying to grind a boss for, you know, 10 hours or something, right? Agoraphobic, thanks for the 100 bits, dude. I'm definitely enjoying PoE, yeah. Other classes? I mean, yeah, I would like to try out all of them. You know, at least do one build in every class and see what's the most fun, but... The problem is time. That's the problem. The one hit I took on PB was to Rolana.
Those stripped of the grace of gold shall all meet death in the embrace of Messmer's flame.
Yeah, I guess the problem is I like games that are very time consuming, and it doesn't really work well with. You know, the most fun thing for me to do is play the Souls games, doing just various runs in them, basically. But then after that, it would be playing a game like PoE or MMOs or something where, you know, kind of I almost feel like the intended experience for most of them is playing them a lot and staying up to date on stuff, and especially PoE is like you got to have so much time in that game, dude. So it doesn't really work well together, right? It would be better if I liked games such as, I don't fucking know, like, you know, kind of one-off games where you play it and then, you know, you played it once and you kind of get, you know, you play it once and that's kind of it, right? Yeah, The Last of Us, or I don't know, I've played BioShock games and, you know, games like that where you just, you know, you kind of play it and you played it once and it's like, okay, that was cool. Now you just move on to the next one. Not games such as Warframe or, you know, Path of Exile or something where you got to put just massive amounts of hours into them and then, oh, forgot to get the Ash of War somehow. Yeah, honestly, at this point, I just don't really like those games as much. I don't really like a game where it's about the story and then that's kind of it. You know, some decent gameplay and a story and then you're done and it's like, well, time to go to the next game. I'm just not really into that as much. Yeah, I guess Genshin Impact would be an example of that. I've never played it, but
I'll give you the best nut ever.
yeah, that's the sort of thing I'm talking about. But those are just the games I like, though. Just the long-term... Hopefully that's good enough. It really sucked to have to memory grace out of here. Long-term account progression games. Those are those are the ones I like. Dr. QD, thanks for the 3-month resub. I appreciate that. Guess I don't have to go back to Roundtable. Seem to like addiction games. Well, that's not really what I would call them, but no, it's just I like playing. I don't like bouncing around between games. I'd rather just play a single game for a long time. I played RuneScape a long time ago, yeah. What I'm saying now is I'm addicted to PoE. I'm not addicted to it now. I mean, I play when I can, though. At this point, I think I have like 60 hours in it, or 65 hours or something. Yeah, I just like building an account and a character, dude. Like that's just I don't think that's too surprising considering what I've said here is the part of Souls no hit runs that I like probably the most is the character building part of it and figuring out a strategy and a route for stuff. You know, getting good at the bosses and stuff is really fun too, but for sure the most fun part is the strategizing part, the theory crafting, and then execution is the second most fun part. No, it's not 60 hours in a week and a half. I mean, I played it for a bit beforehand. I mean, before the stream I did, I probably had 30 hours in it or so. Or something, or like 25 maybe, so it's not 60 hours in in a week and a half. Turn-based games, I am not a huge fan of. Although, I mean, I guess I don't hate them. Like, for example, I guess, Baldur's Gate 3, I like quite a bit, but in terms of the turn-based part of it, it's not my favorite part. But you know what's interesting? I think for the Souls games, I probably would have looked at them in the same way that I would look at quite a few other games where it's just sort of a one-off type of game. You know, before I saw no hit runs and challenge running and stuff. I probably, if I'd never seen challenge running, then I would not have. I would have played Dark Souls 3 probably once and then just been like, okay, that was okay, and then I just wouldn't have played it again. Oh, I beat the game. I think that's how most people would think of these games for sure, right? Is you just beat it and then you just move on to the next one. That's probably how most people play games overall, I would imagine. If they're playing non-MMOs, basically. Love story games where you hate when you're done with them because they're so short. Feels like a waste. It's just one and done. I just don't play story games really at this point. I never really have. Most of the games I've played are, you know, games that you could easily spend a shit ton of time in, but if not, I mean, if not almost all of them, right? You know, Elder Scrolls games, you could just spend unlimited amounts of time in them. Souls games too. Sorta, but maybe less so. Watch story games on YouTube. Dude, that's actually not... like, I've definitely done that. I've seen people play games on YouTube, just, you know, play through the game so I don't have to buy it myself, and it's just kind of the same experience almost. Yeah, I agree with that for sure. I think that's a good strategy. Not too well. Thanks for the brand new Prime sub. And Crazies, thanks for the 4-month resub as well. I appreciate that. Emporia slaps. I was testing it out on Consort earlier, and it is... I mean, it's more damage than what I've got on this, so... I do want to... I don't know if I'll do it this week or before I get the run or after, whatever, but I do want to figure out a Somber route for Stranded as well. And see what that would look like. Because, I mean, Euphoria is not really a super viable weapon for a Stranded... If you're going with that as a single weapon, obviously, because you got to kill at least Mesmer plus Romana to get it, but... It could be good for certain fights on this, I think. But yeah, I mean, I think it's blatantly obvious to most people, at least if they've been following my stream for a while, that the way I play games is I can easily play the same game for a very, very, very long time. And I just have no problems doing it. That's my preferred way to do it. I've streamed like 4,000 hours of Dark Souls 3. So... that's a game that has a lot less replayability than even this game does. So, no, it's not addiction. It's like addiction's when you just can't stop it. You know, like gaming would be an addiction. I mean, I guess you could be addicted to a specific game, but it's more just I don't know what it is. It's just there's a lot of stuff to do. Whoa. I never actually thought about it. Like, you don't get... Are you addicted to one game because you just don't play other games? I don't know. I've never thought about it. Yeah, Monster Hunter... I tried out Monster Hunter World a while ago. I think I would like that game a lot, but I just haven't... I just don't have time to play it. I guarantee I would like that game a lot, for sure, though.
Maybe I'll give you the best nut ever.
Destiny, I have not tried. The main reason I haven't tried it is because what I thought, like I had some friends that played Destiny, and
Best nut ever.
I was just thinking,
Just what I needed after work.
at that point where I probably would have started playing it, I was already playing Warframe, and I'm like, why? I thought they were kind of similar, maybe. And so I was already playing Warframe, so why would I go play Destiny, basically? Mayor, thanks for the 2-month Prime sub, dude. Also, Jim, thanks for the 100 bits as well. Addicted to one game because I don't play any others. Wait, are you addicted to one game because you don't play any others, or do not play any others because you're addicted to one game? I don't know.
You find let the great anchor until it was tragic across the
I mean, I guess it's probably the second one.
Seek to become
I would assume.
I'll say is and I will the finger. Now
Don't think bro knows what playing a game as your job is. Like, are you talking about me? Well, the funny thing is that I've been streaming for I don't know how long. Since 2017. And only in the past, like, I don't know, only recently has it actually been like my job, I guess. So it's not really that. It's not like I play it because it's my job or something. I mean, that's kind of funny. Okay, fucker. Let's go here. Oh my god, dude, that fucking extra R1 was not on purpose. Oh my god, dude. If he did probably anything else, I was dead there. He is trolling here, dude. Holy smokes. This is wild. Definitely not looking forward to fighting Dragon Man with, well, any build, but low damage on this guy. Gonna be horrible, dude. Did I just not get that grace?
I'll give you the best.
Oh, fuck. I think I didn't get it, dude. Whoops. Oh, no, I got it. Yeah, that was the worst RNG I've seen by a... but it was, like, that was insanely bad. That was unbelievably bad, actually. Jambush, thanks for the Burning Prime sub, dude. That was unreal. A little greed that didn't work out too well there. It's kind of funny. It's not safe with the Colossal to go with the poke there on that Scorpion tail attack. It's just not fast enough. But if she did the attack that I would have gotten hit by, then she would have gotten hit by the attack. So, like, she wouldn't have survived anyway, so.
Maybe I'll give you the best nut ever.
Favorite Led Zeppelin song?
Mother. Marika. A curse upon thee.
Zephyrius, thanks for the 4-month Prime sub, dude. And Uki, thanks for the brand new Prime sub as well.
All that they felt. Do you understand now? Your ugliness. Ah!
All right, buddy.
Upon his was sublime to think he
You say so.
To say it, the death of men now come in vengeance if Mikkel and I wish.
Okay. This is probably a good place to end, but you know what, it kind of is, dude. Because we got to go do some more setup before we go to Inner Ilum. So maybe I'll end for now. We'll continue this run tomorrow. So I think what we'll do. Man, that Dragon Man is just... What do I do about him? I'm feeling really good about everything in the start of this run other than Dragon Man at this point. So what do I do? Anyways, I'll be back on tomorrow for sure, dude. And, you know, hopefully it should be a longer stream and we can maybe grind out this run. But, you know, there's probably obviously... Well, there's probably going to be more stuff that I got to figure out and test, right? Which is kind of usually what happens. I'm like, oh yeah, we'll do some attempts today. And then I get hit by something and then I have to solve whatever hit me. And then that takes the most time. But we'll see. I don't know. Who should we raid, dude? Let's raid... Let's raid Sagan, dude. He's playing Magic the Gathering, which I've never personally played, but go check him out. But yeah, have a good night, guys. I'll be back on like pretty soon, probably, and you know, just whenever I wake up and simply continue this run. Surely we get it. If not, then I'll probably spend a lot of time trying to figure out what I got hit by. But yeah, take care, guys. I'll see you tomorrow, and have a good one, you guys.